The following program contains language, images, and/or subject matter that may be objectionable to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Direct from Albany, New York, it's time for the News Media Zone. With your hosts, Ed and Dave. Tonight, a look at this week's new film and DVD releases. And a chance to win free movie tickets with the poster pair game. And now your hosts, Ed and Dave.
Hello, and welcome to a special edition of the New Media Zone.
A special edition I want no part of.
Dave didn't want any part of this, but what we're doing is a commentary on a film we did in 1990.
An awful film. I mean, a good film, but bad acting by me.
Dave doesn't like his acting, but it's some of the best acting in the film.
No, it isn't.
I think it is.
Very good.
Oh, here we go. We got to jump right into it because it's a half hour long.
Let's fast forward through it. Can we skip scenes?
No, I just came up with this idea because it's half hour, so it's an extra thing.
Is this Ann Lee Pond?
This is Behind Maywood School.
Oh, look at that effect you threw in there.
I did add a few extra effects in.
Now, what year was this?
This is 1990.
Take that into effect, folks. It's 1990.
It's made on VHS, and I did go back and find the original tapes because when you're editing something on tape, you have to dub down a generation. In the old days, you would have to hook up two VCRs.
Please don't put me up as the writer.
Actually, we shared writing and directing credits,
Okay.
so I just split them up.
Oh, gotcha. Look at the glasses. Jeez.
Now here's Rick Baker. He was another pretty good actor. He did some modeling and things. We worked with him at Pier 1.
Right.
And here he is. Now my wife is on the other line, which we can't really hear too much. But I had her redub her lines to make them sound more like they were coming out of a phone,
right.
and two, to make them sound better. She does not like to perform.
So, when we're not talking, can they hear this?
I
hope not.
No, they're probably not going to hear much of what's going on unless we want to hear something.
All right,
and then
so
we can turn it up.
Do we want to give the premise of the film?
Yes, you should give the premise.
Oh, I should give the premise.
Yeah.
I barely remember the premise. We are business partners,
Yes.
and we purchase land from a park,
Right.
and then it's got some kind of...
I'm hiding the fact that
Oh, okay.
we got it so cheap because there was a toxic dump site on it.
Oh. Okay.
I guess I didn't tell you that. Now you're getting involved with my wife here.
Okay. And this is filmed, by the way, where I used to work at a Carvel ice cream store.
Right outside Carvel.
You can see their garbage can right there. And that's you, and then there's the freezers behind you.
Here I am seeing that there's something going on here between my partner and my wife outside the Carvel here.
When the door is now closed right there.
Now,
now you're opening it? Okay.
Why didn't we do a very graphic love scene?
Because Judy would have never went for it.
There was no sex in this film.
Right.
Although,
Much like my real life.
Although later on, and you don't remember anything about this, but we'll get to that when we get to that part. Okay. We did have a nude scene planned.
Oh!
And you had found the girl who was going to do it, but you don't remember anything about it now.
I don't.
But we'll get that. Now, this was a nice place behind Maywood School that had some woods and this bridge.
Okay.
Where I did a project for a college in here, an Indiana Jones film.
So, again, the premise, there's a toxic dump site somewhere on this land that we have purchased.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not told of this.
No.
And then as the film continues, we have some kind of a fight.
I will turn up the sound for that because I love the punches.
Yes, you did do good punches. But we have a fight. Is it When I Find Out?
Yes.
And then...
and I'm going to show you right now with a pretty... I didn't do too much digital effects, but I put a nice little smoke coming out of there.
I know, but who would leave a can that says danger toxic waste?
Well, you have to have a visual of it since we couldn't actually pollute a river, so we had to have something representing the toxic site here.
So basically my anger is now, you hid this from me? You are a terrible person. Well, this is how you do business. You gotta make some money here.
Yeah, I know about you and my wife. I think that's what's going on about here. Now remember, we couldn't remember our lines too well.
Right.
So many times, not this scene, but a lot of times there's reading off of a script held just outside of the camera range.
Okay. I don't remember any of this. I barely remember making
There's
this.
some great, you didn't get too many punches in, but we did some great lining up. Look at that. That's pretty good. And we did this nice over-the-shoulder shot here showing the dump. I like this shot here.
Who's holding the camera? Is that Jim?
I think Jim was with us. Producer Jim. This was a whole nother location.
Yeah.
We did a couple things but of course that one had the handrails and they're gone here.
Right.
Didn't
Continuity issue.
didn't quite match there. Some nice kicking effects added in later. Now we got some nice, that was a dummy, of course.
Oh, of course it was.
Now, some nice makeup from the Dick Smith horror makeup kit I used for this.
That's because you have fallen into the toxic waste
Right.
with all of its smoke, which somehow is not affecting me.
The smoke was added in this year. That was not there for the original. There was a nice puppet I made down there, puppet head. I think I made it from the Mrs. Bates head.
Oh,
from
I
our
remember that.
Psycho 3.
Oh no! So now you're wasting away to nothingness,
Mm-hmm.
and I am just walking away, very slowly. 'Cause
You're
I'm
injured.
Okay.
There was supposed to be a flashback sequence where you were stopping at the trees and thinking back on things, but we eliminated that and went with a straight. Now here's, I thought it was good acting, but you're reading right off the paper.
Am I?
Yes. Not bad. There's a lot of lines. We can't remember those lines. We're just filmmakers.
Look how young.
Oh, we were so young. Too young.
This is 30 years ago, Ed.
1990.
33 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm still in my 20s. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Holy crap.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah, until 92, right?
Support it?
Yep.
Yeah. This was 90. Judy did do plays.
Yes.
She was probably the closest thing to an actress or actor we had here. And she was pretty good.
Yes, indeed. This is just, I don't want to watch this. I can't.
This is there's a few minutes of setup here, and after that it's basically just people getting killed off left and right.
Isn't that kind of what all we did back in those days was let's make some films and see how we can kill people.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Terrifier.
Right. We didn't make any money from it though.
We don't get involved in plot. Although this one has a slight story.
It does.
It doesn't make sense, but it's a slight story.
Now I did add a few digital blood effects in, but it was mostly all practical effects and blood tubes and pumping. And God bless the people that we found. That one
Torture
girl,
they went through.
the girl you worked with, that had the blood pump on her,
Oh, I
and it was
remember.
pumping all over the place.
Yep.
It wasn't thick enough though. It was like high C or Kool-Aid or something.
Was this the one with we had the wrapper neck and like pork skin or
Yes,
something?
we had pork skin. and we had the pump behind it, and she put her head back, and the thing opened up. It was a pretty good effect. It was tricky getting that pump to work, though.
Oh my God.
And who was that girl that was friends with the one you worked with? Denise and the other one?
Oh.
And she was lying on the ground outside your mother's house and covered in blood and gizzards and lizards and all kinds of things.
Yeah, vaguely remember that. So what is going on with the story now? Has time passed? Am I developing?
Yes, I think
the
you're
park?
relaying to the folks in that fade that just happened. And you were on the phone, I think. Were you on the phone, I think?
I was.
Yeah, you were telling someone that your partner is gone. He might have been to Rio de Janeiro. He said he just left with the funds, and now you're here. And I think there's being relayed that there's some body or people missing. There are people missing around the area. So you're going to check it out here. There's a nice fade effect from the picture I took.
Mm-hmm. And I remember one of the most horribly stated lines I ever did was when we were talking about this thing, and I'm complaining about something, and she's recommending I sell it, and I say, "What? Sell my baby?"
Right.
It's just awful.
And then the outtake, I think I just found the other day. She was off screen.
And she yells, "So sell it or something?"
Yeah, way too loud.
So sad.
Now this, from some orifice that's not explained, the creature is leaking fluid.
Unexplained orifice.
For some reason, he's leaving this goo around.
Well, maybe it's just like from his hand.
It could be
his face, because it was all dripping with stuff.
Yeah.
And just as he's walking by a tree, clearly just then, it leaves some residual goo. Or a lot of residual goo. Or maybe he's just excited.
I believe we used the shampoo.
I think we used conditioner or
conditioner,
shampoo.
Yeah. For the goo. I guess maybe at that angle it was coming out of my mouth, and I kind of sprayed it on the tree there. I forget who's the first victim.
I don't know.
Was it our two girlfriends at the time?
I could. Yes,
oh yeah,
yeah,
here it is.
Well,
now your girlfriend
yes.
did not want to be anything to do with this, for one.
Right.
But she did not want to get any blood or anything on her.
Right.
So I had to try and fake a stabbing with a branch that got nowhere near her.
Right.
And then about 10 years ago, I filmed an insert scene.
Okay.
I'll say it was
just to explain, she's the one on the left.
Right.
That would be my future ex-wife.
That was my current wife there.
Yes.
Now I guess the first one to go is your current ex-wife.
Yes. It's always smart to split up in the woods.
Right.
Especially when you're hearing snapping twigs and sounds.
Oh, there's the branch that I had to fake and struggle to look like I was stabbing in, and there's all kinds of effects work done later here.
Whose breast did you put in there?
That was our stand-in's breast. There should have been more nudity and blood right off the bat, and it's been added in here.
Oh, God.
Now this one, I used a ketchup bottle, which is kind of behind that quick shot I put in there.
Here's pig neck.
Right.
Now this was someone I had worked with. Excuse me. And she now lives in, I think, South Carolina. But she was willing to have her neck wrapped in pig flesh, basically.
Yes.
And then on up underneath it with a hole.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember the exact how she got murdered here. Well, I guess with garden shears.
Yeah, look at that.
And then the blood spurting out. Now, did you add the effects to the blood here, or
I added a little because the blood was so thin. I did add a little, but it is. I added a lot, I guess, but it is dripping here. That's the real blood dripping right out of her, all over.
Oh my God!
she's a trooper though. Anybody that was gonna put up with
it pulsates.
Yeah.
Yes, these are the one on the left I worked with at Carvel.
Uh-huh.
And then this is a friend of hers. They're from New York City going to college up here.
Mm-hmm. And there's supposed to be another one because they talk about their friend Z or D. Z Distus. Now there was no...
I think they completely improvised this whole thing.
Yes. They were very good. We told them just to talk there, and they went off and talked about meeting these guys and what they were up to, and then one has to go, of course, tinkle in the woods.
Right.
And that's how they're separated. And of course, this was all done outside your mother's house.
Yes.
That had a double for woods.
Right, because right next to her house is woods.
And meanwhile, there was what was running behind the house.
The throughway.
I cut out as much of the throughway as I could.
Which nowadays, because of all the brush that has grown, you cannot hear the throughway.
No.
You used to be able to walk out the back door, and walk to the throughway without struggling. Now you cannot get anywhere.
Now, we switched parts. You would play the monster sometimes, and I would play it when needed. It was mainly you because I had to keep an eye on the shots here. I believe that was you there during all this. Do you remember doing any of this?
No, I don't.
This was kind of a nice shot here. Pulling her back.
I do not remember this. But don't we end up eating like her
Oh,
guts?
there's some graphic eating. And when this runs on the TV, I'm going to have to cut back, make the gory scenes kind of small, even though we have a disclaimer. Now look at this. This was all the gizzards. And you were doing this.
Okay, I don't remember.
You don't remember this?
No. Is there like crunching sounds you added to that?
Yes.
As her mouth moves?
Did her mouth move?
A little bit.
Oh, well, there's a trooper there. I think she had a rubber thing on that was a rubber guts.
Yeah,
but on
covering.
Top of that was all the guts. I wonder, what did she do after she left? She didn't go in and go in your mother's shower.
I don't remember.
Well, she just had to drive home with that out.
I don't know. I don't remember. And I don't remember even making this.
That's you here, and breaking the wrist.
Oh, that's right, snapping it off and drinking the blood as it pulsates out. I remember that.
I guess we didn't make it clear that why the creature was a cannibal or eating people.
It was just to gross people out more.
It was just because we had a stumpy thing we could put on her. That's you. Okay, now here's a scene that was added, I think. No, this is Michael here.
Right.
This is my brother's girlfriend. Anybody and their girlfriend was put into this
anybody
film.
that we could get. We needed bodies.
And we thought this was a nice...
Now, this is him just playing like almost like a serial killer.
Yes, we thought we'd throw this extra thing. It's a killing from a serial killer who's also in the woods at the same time as a monster, but the monster gets the serial killer. And he gets the other girl too,
right.
but he... And of course, the chase scene was done within about 15 feet. And we only had the lights out there in this one little spot, so this had to be done over and over in front of those same two trees. A little behind the scenes for you there.
Didn't he have like a cardboard box or something there, or a piece of cardboard?
We had cardboard, yeah. We had the shirt on a cardboard, so the knife would go in it.
Always good to stop running. Oh, on the eye. And then we leave the eye hanging off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a nice shot. I like that one.
Came up with many creative ways to kill off.
How come I didn't eat the eye?
No, you should have plucked it off of there.
I know. Now we can go back and rewrite it. Oh, this was a good one.
Oh, this is the producer Jim, but there's also an extra scene in here I took a scene we did for... Here's something that was not in the original. That I kind of edited in.
Who is that?
That's somebody who wants to remain uncredited.
Do I know this person?
Yes, I'll tell you what.
I think I might know who it is.
But that was for another thing, and I kind of put it in there because this is where the tit woman was supposed to be.
Is that how she was going to be credited at the end?
That's a name either you or your girlfriend. I think your girlfriend came up with the tit woman from work. Who was supposed to do a topless scene here. So I kind of recreated it with that.
Now, how did you get that person to do that?
That was something we did a long time ago.
Oh, so you just threw it in.
Yeah. It was done for something we just did playing around.
Now, producer Jim, with his perfect, beautiful line, he said, Jesus, what the hell?
Yes.
And he can't get out of his own shed.
No. Whoa! Skewered.
He was. Oh, no.
Now this is Mike Keene.
Well.
This is where we were going to shoot the topless woman scene. She was supposed to be in here, which was a chicken coop.
Why would she be in there topless?
Well, she was drinking something in there and spilled it on her top.
Ah.
And she was supposed to take the top off. Now, you were the one that found the woman who was going to do this
I don't
and
recall.
canceled at the last minute, but you don't remember any of it.
No, I don't.
No.
Now, he did take, whatever.
Some karate
Yeah.
classes. He
Yeah.
was doing some moves in there.
And he's got his little, whatever you call those things.
Those stars.
That he would know.
And those come in. He uses those to fight off the monster in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a nice shot coming up here where the door opens and there was a creak.
Creek, right.
That was just a creaky door. We didn't add that effect in there.
Oh, it was very fortuitous.
And you were the monster here. Do you
What
remember
was I?
Do you remember doing that?
No. I remember, oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
The hands move.
Mm-hmm. And they were rubber gloves. And then we had that great mask.
That was a good mask.
And then I made the neck out of a shirt and painted it so it was kind of stiff. So it was a good suit. There's the goo. Added in a month ago or whenever I did this. That was not there.
Now, I do recall how he gets killed.
Yes. There
Which
was
was pretty good.
Yeah, there's another trooper there because that was a bloody scene here.
There we go.
I don't know if it's a convincing. It was a pool hose.
Right. As a spine.
I think it kind of came off. Yeah,
That's not bad.
it was pretty bloody, but I threw in a little extra. There's some ribs hanging off
Yeah.
it. Of course, I don't know how any of these people got home from this. Now, here's where I come in, finally, as the monster.
Oh, that's right. I can no longer be playing the monster. Of course, I'm not scared. Look at me. I'm just talking to you because you're talking to me.
I did a very hoarse voice,
Yes.
but I put a modulator on it when I was putting it together to make it a little creepier.
Okay, now this begs the question,
Okay?
when is our web series coming out?
I am working on that right now.
How long ago is that? That's got to be 5-6 years ago.
Oh, longer. The first shot we did when we that very cold November
Yeah.
was 2013.
Oh, no!
I can't believe it's
No, it hasn't been that long.
Yes, I can't believe it's been that long. That was the first shot we did.
Oh, talk about a delay in production
That
and
is
release.
a delay. I don't know. The time just goes by so fast.
You're retired!
Now I'm retired, yeah. I still can't. Here we go. Judy's
Oh,
car.
there's my beautiful Buick Skyhawk. The gray car right there. Oh, I love that car.
Actually, this is why I just started on the web series again. This thing has been sitting there, this Toxic Camp in the editor, for like 15 years. So it was eating up a lot of space. I had to get this out of there, which is why I finally finished this up.
Do we have any more scenes to film for the web series?
No, it was all done.
Okay.
I just gotta...
Because, you know,
Well, the thing that I had the whole first episode done, and then the computer crashed.
What the hell are you
That,
talking
you know, I don't want to have this web series released and me become a big star, you know, and I only have a few years to live. I could have been enjoying this stardom for the past 10 years,
Yes.
which we know won't happen. But still,
I think we finished that, though, in 2016. We did the last bit of the web series.
I've always questioned this scene.
Here's
in
our
that-
friend Dave Stott.
I always thought of this scene like, what kind of a wimp is this guy who's using an axe on twigs?
Right.
He could have just picked them up and broke them.
By the way, this is some kid that was in the woods playing the monster this time.
So a total stranger?
A total stranger. I don't know how we were going to do this. I guess I was going to put the suit in and go back and forth. But the kids were coming through. So he said, put this on. And kid put it on.
Oh, God.
Dave Stott buried in the ground.
Oh, that's a nice scene. I like that. But yeah, why would he use? Because we just wanted an axe to be in the scene.
Yes, the axe needed to be there so he would be cut
But
in
it's
half.
like, you don't need for those little twigs he was picking up. Oh, this is a good one. With your, don't lose your head.
Yes, and in the outtake, I got my hand stuck on her earring and pulled on it.
Oh,
Almost
no.
pulled her ear off.
Leave her alone, John.
Let's see, I fixed the head effect because her head was sticking through a cardboard.
Uh-huh.
So I did a little work here. A little digital work.
Why am I? Oh, Jesus, I couldn't even run. What is that?
And here is our battle, our ending battle.
Oh, is
which,
this the one with the good punches? I thought the other one was.
yeah, I think I took some of it out because it looked like a wrestling match.
Oh, okay.
We were doing like wrestling punches. and
Yeah.
things. I just put.
And by the way, my outfit, courtesy of Salvation Army.
Oh yeah, we always had to get our stuff at the Salvation Army.
And those things were just there because...
They were just there, some little bamboo things from Pier 1, I believe.
Right. But they just happened to be in the ground there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was me and you and Jim filming here at the end.
And there's some more conditioner on you.
Here's a little goo. See, that went on for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was a good move, cutting that out.
We're down the conclusion here.
Thank Christ.
Roy Scheider. I thought it would be a good idea, though, to document.
What bad filmmaking is.
Nah,
I mean, you
there's
know,
a lot of work.
I guess for our time, it was not bad.
There was no digital work at the time.
No.
And that people don't know how hard it is to hook up two VCRs, play a scene. You have to
Right.
pause and record and let it up and go
Oh
back.
yeah, back in those days, this was not a simple thing where you do on-the-fly digital editing, and cameras can now be your phones,
Yes.
or your cameras. This was quite the setup. Yes, yeah, absolutely. I make fun of it, but it was a ton of work to do, if I could recall it.
1990.
The end.
Did you get married in 90, or was this going on during the...
90...
Or is it
yes.
2? 90, yes.
I think I got married in 90, yes.
What's harder to recall, when you got married or doing this film?
Doing this film.
Which is apparently the same time.
Yeah, doing this film. Did the kid that walked through get a credit?
No, I don't know who that was.
Oh, he could be a superstar. We don't even know it.
Here's our campers. Luckily, I found the original tape with the names, or else we wouldn't have any idea who some of these people were.
Okay. That's Tanya Severino. Was that your...
That's my brother's
brother's
girlfriend.
friend. Okay.
And then coming up is the ones you...
Right.
Debbie Donovan.
That's the
from-
friend of the... That's the person that Denise Levine was the one I worked with.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy was the one I worked with. Oh, Denise was Carvel. Nancy was the one I worked with at the state.
Yep, that was the neck.
Oh,
And there we have it. We want to thank you for joining us
oh dear.
for the commentary track on Toxic Camp.
Please don't put this on.
Restored in 2022.
Burned in 2023.